Hello viewers, welcome. Today we are going to discuss major and minor characters in Hamlet by William Shakespeare. So let's get started. First major character is Hamlet. Hamlet is the son of old Hamlet and Gertrude, thus Prince of Denmark. He is Prince of Denmark. The protagonist of the tragedy, Hamlet is beloved prince and a thoughtful, melancholy young man. He is moody, witty, brilliant man, perpetually fascinated and tormented by doubts and introspection. He always introspect, he thinks in his mind and he doubts. Distraught by his father's death, he is very unhappy with his father's death. Hamlet is only made more depressed by his uncle's Claudius' succession to the throne of Denmark and his subsequent marriage to his mother Gertrude. When the ghost of the King Hamlet's father tells him that he was murdered by his brother Claudius and that Hamlet must avenge him, Hamlet becomes almost suicidal and obsessed with revenge. He is distraught, he is unhappy because of his inability to act on these instructions. He is unhappy because he is not able to take revenge very fastly. He is very intelligent. Hamlet decides to fake madness in order to fool his uncle and those loyal to him, like Polonius, while he uncovers whether Claudius is guilty for his father's death. So, first decide that he will find out whether his uncle is guilty of his father's death or not. Then only he can proceed in process of avenging death of his father. Although often his mental health is genuinely in question, although some critics find him that he is a real mad, he is not just feigning madness, he is real mad. Now, worried about his own guilt, he is also worried about his own guilt. He feels himself guilty because he is not able to take revenge fastly. Hamlet also becomes hateful, despising his uncle. He despises his uncle, voicing anger at his mother. He is very angry with his mother and frustrated with his traitorous friend. He is frustrated and depressed with his friends like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern because they also traited him. He rejects Ophelia, a woman he once claimed to love. Earlier, he loved Ophelia, but now Ophelia has joined hand with Claudius and Laertes and Polonius to spy on Hamlet. So, in the harshest term, he criticizes Ophelia, he mocks on Ophelia, he never loses his reflective and melancholy qualities. He is always reflective and is always melancholy all the time. His mood changes very often, but even though he is thoughtful to the point of obsession, Hamlet also behaves rashly and impulsively. He is a very rash and impulsive person, and he behaves like that. When he does act, it is with surprising swiftness and little or on the premeditation. He acts without thinking, as when he stabs Polonius through curtain without even checking to see who he is. So he attacks on Polonius, who is hiding behind curtain without checking it, and he seems to step very easily into role of madman. He acts like a madman. Hamlet is one of the most famous figure in Western literature and in the world of theater, and one of the most complicated, difficult, and yet sought after role ever created. So he is a very famous character. Hamlet, best known character and one of the theater's greatest enigma of all time. He is an enigma and he is a most sought after character. Now, Claudius. Claudius is another major character in this drama. Old Hamlet's brother. He is a brother of old Hamlet, Hamlet's uncle, and he is a Hamlet's uncle, Prince Hamlet's uncle, and Gertrude's newlywed husband. He murdered his brother in order to seize the throne and subsequently married Gertrude. his erstwhile sister-in-law. So once Gertrude was his sister-in-law, but now she is his wife. Claudius appears to be a rather dull man who is fond of pleasures of flesh, sex, and drinking. So he is fond of sex and drinking, and Hamlet calls that he is all the time engaged in drinking, and therefore he married Gertrude for the lust of himself. Now, only as the play goes on, do we become certain that he is indeed guilty of murder and usurpation. So, he has usurped the throne of Denmark from his brother by killing him. Claudius is the only character aside from Hamlet to have a soliloquy in play. When he is convinced that Hamlet has found him out, Claudius eventually schemes to have his nephew cum son murdered. So now he is scheming to murder Hamlet. And apart from Hamlet, he is the only person who is getting and who is soliloquizing in this drama. Hamlet has 7 soliloquy in this drama. Now Gertrude. Gertrude is queen of Claudius, the current king, the present king of Denmark, and the widow of his brother, the elder king, Hamlet the senior. She is also mother to Prince Hamlet, the main character in this tragedy. A central quality of Gertrude's character is that she loves her son. She loves Hamlet so much. She seems unaware that Claudius killed her former husband. So it seems that she doesn't know about the trickery of Claudius, while Hamlet is angry with her for marrying the inferior Claudius and her first husband death. So it is a fact that Hamlet is very angry with her mother that she has forgotten his father and married his uncle, who is very inferior to his father. Hamlet attributes this need for a husband to her lustiness. Now Polonius, the father of Ophelia and Laertes, and the chief advisor to the throne of Denmark. So he is a father of two girl and boy. That is Ophelia, beautiful girl, and he is a chief advisor. He is a prime minister of the throne of Denmark. And Polonius is windy. He is a sycophant, and he is a pedantic, interfering, nosy, suspicious, nosy, silly old man, and a rash intruding fool in the Hamlet's word. Hamlet calls him a rash intruding fool who takes pleasure in other people's work, and Polonius is forever provoking intrigue and hiding behind tapestry to spy. So he is an intruding character. He always spies, and he makes himself he goes behind curtain, and he listen to the words and the prayers and the things of other people. He hatches the theory that Ophelia caused Hamlet to go mad by rejecting him. So he is the person who tells Claudius that Hamlet is mad because of his love for Ophelia. Hamlet loved Ophelia, so now Ophelia rejected Hamlet's love. So he is mad because of that. Polonius' demise is befitting to his flaw, and because of his this nature, this intruding nature, he was killed by Hamlet. Hamlet incidentally kills the old man while he eavesdrop behind an arras in Gertrude's bedroom. So once he was hiding behind tapestry in Gertrude's bedroom, and there Hamlet killed him unknowingly, unwittingly, and inadvertently. Polonius' death causes his daughter to go mad. So Ophelia loved his father very much, and she became mad after his death. Now Ophelia, another important character, the daughter of Polonius and sister of Laertes. So Ophelia has received several tributes of love from Hamlet. Hamlet loved him, and he has sent her many love letters, but rejects him after her father orders her to do so. But since his father Polonius has ordered her to reject Hamlet, she rejected Hamlet. And in general, Ophelia is controlled by men in her life. She moved around like a doll in their scheme to discover Hamlet condition. So Hamlet, she is taken as a spy to know about the condition of Hamlet by Polonius and Claudius. Moreover, Ophelia is regularly mocked by Hamlet and is lectured by her father and brother about her sexuality. She goes mad after Hamlet's murder Polonius. She later drowns. Out of her madness, she drowns in a river. Now, old Hamlet, ghost. The ghost is the spirit of Hamlet's father who has recently died. The ghost tells Hamlet that his was not a natural death and how he was killed by his own brother who has poured poison in the years when he was taking break in garden. And he says he was murdered by Claudius, his brother, and he urges Hamlet to avenge his death by killing Claudius. Now, the ghost message unnerves Hamlet. So, Hamlet is very unnerved and very disturbed by this revelation of ghost. He does not know whether to believe the ghost, whether to believe the ghost that he is telling right, or to think it's some sort of demon there to trick him into committing murder. So, therefore, he is not believing him at first. So, he first tried to find out and he checks that whether Claudius is guilty or not. Shakespeare played this role in theatres. So, when this play was being performed in theatres of London, Shakespeare played the role of ghost in many plays. So, this is a very important, small role but important role. Now, Horatio, Hamlet's close friend who studied with the prince at the university in Wittenberg. So, he is a friend of Hamlet, very loyal to Hamlet, and he studied in Wittenberg with him. Horatio is loyal and helpful to Hamlet throughout the play. After Hamlet's death, Horatio remains alive to tell Hamlet's story. He loved Hamlet so much that when Hamlet was dying, he also urged Hamlet that I also want to be killed because I don't want to live in this world without you. But Hamlet told him and urged him that you be here and tell my story, tell my true story to others. Now, Leotis. Leotis is Polonius' son and Ophelia's brother, a young man who spends much of the play in France. So, he studies in France, Paris, so he spends time there. He is a very passionate and quick to action. He is a man of action. Leotis is clearly a foil for the reflective Hamlet. He plays as a foil, he plays as an opposite character other than Hamlet because he is a man of action and Hamlet is a man of thought. Fortinbras. Fortinbras, the young prince of Norway, and whose father, the king, also named Fortinbras, was killed by Hamlet's father, also named Hamlet. Now, Fortinbras wishes to attack Denmark to avenge his father's honor, making him another foil for the Prince Hamlet. He is again makes foil with Hamlet. Hamlet is a man of thought and he is a man of action. He want to take revenge for death of his father, who was killed by Hamlet the senior. And now, King of Norway is Fortinbras' uncle. Now, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, two slightly foolish courtiers. They are foolish. Former friend of Hamlet. They are school friends of Hamlet from Wittenberg, and who were summoned by Claudius and Gertrude to discover the cause of Hamlet's strange behavior. So they are the persons. They are the friends who have been summoned by Gertrude and. Claudius, that you find out that whether Hamlet is behaving like mad or just he has gone mad. And Osric. Osric, he is a foolish courtier who summons Hamlet to his duel with Leotis. So he is the person who summons Hamlet for the fencing match with Leotis. Now Voltamand and Cornelius. Courtiers whom Claudius sent to Norway to persuade the king to prevent Fortinbras from attacking. Now, Prince Fortinbras wanted to attack Denmark, so Claudius sent Voltamand and Cornelius in order to persuade the king of Norway, Fortinbras' brother, so that Prince Fortinbras could not attack that Denmark. Now, Marcellus and Bernardo, the officers who first see the ghost walking the rampart of Elsinore. So, they are the officer, they are the god in charge of the Elsinore castle. They first saw a ghost of Hamlet walking in the walls of Elsinore castle, and who summons Horatio to witnesses. And they also called Horatio to witness that ghost. Marcellus is present when Hamlet first encounters the ghost. So Marcellus is the person who was also present at the time when Hamlet witnessed his father's ghost. Now Francisco, a soldier and guardsman at Elsinore. He is a soldier and he is a guardsman at the Elsinore castle. Now Rinaldo. Rinaldo is a Polonius servant who is sent to France by Polonius to check up on and spy on Leotis. So he is the person whom Polonius sent to France to spy on Leotis, his son. So these are the characterization in Hamlet. And if you find this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.